What was that? Please do not attack me. I didn't make the rules up. I'm just here to remind you that it's completely against the government guidelines to share spliffs. You're not even allowed to go within 2 meters of a person, never mind sharing a spliff. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I do apologise for this slight break into the normal peacefulness of this area, but I am here to remind you that no matter if you're having a nice time here in the sunshine, you must stay alert. That's not just being alert, it's staying alert. If you don't stay alert, you won't be able to control the virus. If you don't control the virus, you won't be saving lives. Which is basically saying, unless you guys stay alert, you're going to be killing people, okay? So you've got to be alert at all times. Apologies for this brief interruption. This is an important message to invite you to join a campaign that I think if you think it through just for a moment or two, you know it makes sense. This campaign is a campaign based on the principle of condoms before masks, in the understanding that it is far more important for men to wear condoms in the bedroom than you lot to wear masks in a supermarket. And therefore, we urge the government to immediately make the wearing of condoms mandatory across the world for the following 4 weeks, and then to be renewed afterwards when people start to get used to it. Otherwise, you guys are in danger of replicating yourselves, which is a very bad idea for everybody concerned. So please, join us online. Condoms before masks, especially for those people that wear masks. Definitely, very important that you also wear condoms at all times. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and I do apologise for disturbing you. I won't be long. I have a very unusual role in the world. I'm one of hopefully a growing number of people. So far, I'm students alone. I am a drugs ambassador, and I basically advocate for the use of drugs as much as possible. Now, that can obviously depend on where you are in the world and what you can get hold of, and have you got access to the dark web, etc. So, you know, there are various things depending on it. But at this time of COVID, it is really, I think, the ideal time for everybody to have a look at themselves and ask themselves, am I taking the right drugs? Now, I've spoken to a friend of mine who is a psychiatrist who recommends amphetamines. If you take enough amphetamines, you can stay alert for 72 hours on the trot. As opposed to these guys here who've obviously already had quite a number of cans of beer and do not look very alert at all. You look at this guy here, look, he's going, "Ugh." How are you going to remain alert? Exactly. Exactly. So don't worry about the pandemic, there's really nothing to worry about. What you do need to be concerned about is climate change, nuclear war, breakdown of the food systems, civil war, cancer, heart disease, and lots and lots of things. But there is something that all of you can do to try and reduce the number of problems, and that is sterilisation. What's that? Well, anybody who doesn't know what sterilisation is definitely needs it. Because you don't want to be going, you know, you don't want to be just giving birth to just yet another person. You don't even know what sterilisation is. Look it up on Google and book yourself an appointment, ladies and gentlemen. Marie Stopes have places all over the country, and at the moment the government still pays for this, free of charge on the NHS. Do yourselves all a big favour and don't make the same mistake your parents made. Please, at this time, no procreation. Your life is the price you are paying for somebody else's orgasm, not even your own. And they owe you money and compensation for this. And they should pay for your drugs. And you should get better drugs than that alcohol, guys. Magic mushrooms. Why aren't you taking mushrooms? You. Why aren't you taking cannabis? Oh, you are? Oh, okay, fair enough. You're okay then. Well done. Good choice of drug.
Mate, there's little kids in this park.
There's little kids in this park.
Are they? Taking drugs.
And I'm talking about taking drugs. Yeah. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think that young child's going to go, do you know what? I saw this bloke on a megaphone and he was talking about taking drugs. I think I'm going to go and inject myself with some heroin now.
He's going to say no, he's a nonce.
That's right. That's a hooray. Yes, accuse me of being a nonce because I'm talking about drugs.
Mate, you're talking about their magic mushrooms. That's not an everyday thing.
Magic mushrooms is not an everyday thing. You're not allowed to talk about magic mushrooms. Ladies and gentlemen, I must apologise for talking about magic mushrooms. According to this random person, that is not acceptable. Is that right? Is it not acceptable to talk about magic mushrooms? We're in a park? Go to Speaker's Corner? Let them enjoy an F off?
Let them enjoy their day.
Do you know what? That is what my psychotherapist said to me the other day. There won't be long. I have an important information announcement to make. Now at the moment, of course, our minds have been totally taken over by something that has turned out to be not half as serious as we thought it would be. And in fact, it's left us with a problem of what are we going to do with the 99.99% of people that have survived this particular problem. And ladies and gentlemen, there is a much more serious parasite stroke virus which is being spread at incredibly rapid rates. Whilst, ladies and gentlemen, 450,000 odd people have died all over the world, the really serious virus, DNA, has been spreading at the rate of 360,000 new infections every 24 hours. So for all the people that have died of COVID, it took the world just 1.5 days to replace them. Ladies, you should support these gentlemen and only consider from now on having relationships with men that have had a vasectomy, had the common decency to not put them in danger. Now the other thing that you can do, if you want to see this planet sort of be habitable a little bit longer than it might be otherwise, is to stop eating meat and milk products. Stop eating animals, you flipping nasty lot. Think about it. Right now, many of you have been complaining that you've been locked up and only allowed to go out and get essential biscuits from Sainsbury's every 10 seconds, right? But right now, round the corner from here, maybe not round the corner, but you know what I mean, in this country, there are factory farms. And the cows don't get to pop out to the shops or get the medicine they need. No. They get their children stolen from them and the milk taken from them by you perverts who think it's okay to play around with the nipples of other creatures. I look like a pervert? What do perverts look like? Are you an expert? Bye. If you don't take precautions in the bedroom, ladies and gentlemen, the government are not speaking about where you really need to stay safe, in the bedroom. Because if you don't take precautions, and you don't like what I'm doing here because you find it a little bit annoying, think how annoyed you'll be this time next year when you have the incessant sound of this. Wah! 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 And you won't be able to just tell it to go away or hope it just goes away. No, it'll carry on and on and on and drive you crazy. And within a couple of years, it'll be saying, where's my iPad Pro? The other thing, by the way, before I go, is that you can also kind of help the planet last a little bit longer by stop eating animals and their products. That's also very helpful, and it's also really nice. So I want to tell you on behalf of the cows and the chickens, they'd be really, really chuffed if you'd stop like torturing them and then eating them. They'd really like that. So if you could just stop that, that would be really, really nice. Thank you very much. And if you don't like lockdown, the cows and the chickens say, you try coming living in a factory farm, and you see how you'll be running back to your little lockdown where you can pop down the supermarket and buy biscuits and beer. They don't get such privilege in the factory farms. They just urinate on each other and then get slaughtered. How would you guys like ending up urinating on each other and then I just eat you? How would you like that, guys, eh? You wouldn't like that, would you? Well, then stop doing it to the chickens and cows, please. I think you'll have to sing that one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy